Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today's video, I'm sharing with you guys a very beginner friendly way to make a lace closure wig. So this is like very simple, very quick, because the hair is also like a deep wave sort of hair, so you don't have to do any styling, you don't have to do any like too much work. So yeah, I wanted to share with you guys how to make it. So lately, I've just been remaking old wigs, and this is, one of them. So I thought I would just film it and show you guys. Okay, so when you're making a lace closure wig, you first want to find the center of the wig and then place it in the center of where your wig cap or your mannequin head is. So once you've done that, you're going to pin the sides of the lace closure. So you want to make sure you're stretching the closure a bit. You don't want it to be too stretched out, but make sure it's laying flat on the mannequin head, and it feels very taut, not tight but taut. Like pull it till it lays flat on the mannequin, but then don't overstretch it. So you want to do that, and then you want to pull the sides and pin the sides as well. You want everything to be flat before you start stitching or you start sewing. So now for sewing, what I do is I normally start from like about a few centimeters behind. So this is more like using the machine stitching method, where you have to do like a reverse stitch. And for me, I've been doing this for years, and I feel like it secures the wig, and then it keeps it in place for a really long time. Like my wigs don't come undone. So yeah, that is a tip for you guys. So once you're done, you're gonna come back to the front of the closure, and then you're gonna start sewing. So the stitching method you have to do is to do the loop and lock, and this will secure the wig even furthermore. If you're just doing like a single going through stitch, those ones don't really last long, and then with time, after all the combing and everything, it starts getting shaky. So you want to make sure you're knotting and locking your stitch as you go. So you sew after you're done sewing the closure down, it's time to start sewing the bundle. So you have to determine the number of bundles you have, and then you have to know, okay, whether you have to space it bigger or you have to space it smaller. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chalk at the moment, so I couldn't really like demonstrate for you guys to see. But you want to make sure you're also sewing like in straight lines, and you want the distance from the top, like the edges of the closure, to the bundles you're sewing to run parallel. So you don't want it to be lopsided where one side will be up and then one side will be down. Make sure you're keeping it parallel to each other, and then everything is going to come out smooth. So after you sew a line, I don't cut my weft, so I do the fold over method. And for the fold over method, when you get to the edge, as simple as it is, like just as the name goes, you just fold the weave over. So you fold the weave over, make sure you're pinning it down. T-pins will really help you a lot, because it takes away the added pressure of having to hold the hair, or place it where you need it to place and all of that. So make sure you pin it, and then you stitch that edge down. So you want to stitch it down so it can be flat and mimic what it will feel like if the hair was actually cut and not folded over. So you're gonna basically, it's just a repeated sort of process, and you're gonna keep sewing and stitching till you get all the way to the back. So like I said, the stitching has to be parallel to the closure. Okay, now I wanted to show you guys a basic thing where at a point in time, yes, your bundle will run out, the one you're sewing, especially if it's an old weave like I was, like most of it came in tiny parts. So in order to join another bundle or another weave, what you have to do is to place the new one you're about to sew on the old one. So you leave like about an inch gap, place it on it, and then you sew them together so it feels like one. Or you can actually attach the bundles all together at once before you sew. But for me, I feel like that wastes time and this, works faster for me. So this is what I do. So you're gonna keep sewing, sew all the way to the top, and you're basically almost done. Depending on how many bundles you're using, it will, like, the bundles you're using will determine the amount of time that you spend making one wig. And also, depending on how fast or how slow you are, not everyone is fast, and some people are like, they can't be too fast. They're just like a little slower, some are a little faster. I am very fast when it comes to sewing because I figured some tricks and all of that. But yeah, before I used to, time myself. So I'll say I'll give myself like maybe 30 minutes or an hour to sew one bundle. So I've been doing this for years now, and then like that's how I trained myself to start sewing quickly. So if you want to start doing that, you can keep that in mind and just be timing yourself, and it really helps. So yeah, you're gonna sew all the way to the top, and then the final stitching that you're gonna do, you're going to attach it to the closure. Now I wanted to show you guys this. So whenever you have a weave, this is the outside of the weave, like where the band is, and then look at this is the inside band. So the inside band usually looks like two wefts on each other, and then the outside band always looks like one and is seamless. So you're going to make the outside one show. So that's, you're going to place that on like not on the closure, but then it's supposed to touch the edges are supposed to touch the closure, and then you start sewing it to the closure. So don't let the inside show, because it's difficult to blend the closure with the hair when you sew the inside for it to show. Make sure the outside part is the one you actually see. So yeah, you're gonna sew your final stitch, and you're pretty much done making the wig. Now you're gonna take the wig off. Sorry, if you have any leftover bundles, what you're gonna do is you're gonna sew it in the spaces that you feel are typically too big. I normally will do this behind the wig, because I feel like it adds some form of fullness. So basically I would double the wefts and sew it, because I feel like it's much more easier. And then plus, it's always kind of frustrating to sew extra bundles inside. Like, that thing is very annoying. So yeah, the faster you can get it done, the easier it'll be for you. So now you're gonna cut the wig cap off, the excess wig cap off, and make sure you guys see I left a bit of space so the thing doesn't come on it, because you've put so much time into making this. You want to make sure it stays for a very long time. So you're gonna place an elastic band on the band where the edge of the closure, and then you're gonna sew it and stitch it to the wig plus the closure, so it holds it very tight for you. So because this is a deep curl or a deep wig texture, you always want to make sure you're detangling it, because after all the sewing and manipulating is going to be tangled. So make sure you're going in with water, you're detangling it. You have to comb or brush. If you have to style, this is the time you do that. If you want to change the parts and all of that, this is the time that you're going to do all of that. So after that, you're going to seal that water or that moisture in with some oil. So any hair oil will do, and then you're basically done making the wig. So this is like very fast, very quick, very beginner friendly. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell as well.